everyone, it's Hannah Fletcher with Muse TV, and I am speaking with the pop star herself, Ashlee Keating. I am so excited to be talking to you.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to talk to you as well.
Yes. Also, I would love if you want to introduce your co-host there. You have Coco. I
Oh,
think.
I was like co-host. What do you mean? Hello, baby Coco. Say hello, Coco. Oh, hello.
Oh my gosh, Coco. I'm
We did
obs
a walk before this, which is why his harness is on.
Oh
Yeah.
my,
No, I know.
he is so cute. How old is Coco?
He's 3.
He's adorable. He's perfect. He's literally perfect. Like he looks so perfect.
He's like a bear. That's why I call him Coco Bear. And like it was so perfect. Like I didn't even have to think about naming him. Like the first
Mhm.
thing that came to me was Coco, but it's Koko.
Oh.
I was like, we need to do something different, you know? But literally, I was like, you remind me of like whipped cream and hot cocoa because he has like a white stripe down his chest,
Mhm.
black. So I was like, Coco. And then now he looks like a cub. So I'm like, Coco Bear. It's just like perfect.
That is so cute. I just love him. He's so adorable. I love animals in general, but like that specific just like look to that dog too. It just makes me I love them. I think they're so cute. Yeah. Well,
I
it's
Pomeranians.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's a pleasure to speak with you. You've had such a great journey in your career. And I've followed you for a while now. I would love to kind of like I love a good origin story, so I kind of want to just start there. But talk to me all about how you found yourself getting into the music space, and when if you had a moment in your life when you really realized like this is exactly what it is that I'm passionate about. This is what I want to be doing. I would love for you to share that with us if you could.
Yeah, it's really funny because I mean, literally when I popped out the womb, like it was like, no, you're gonna be a performer, you're gonna be on stage, you're gonna be in front of the camera. Like I was just so outgoing and I just at 3 years old, I started on a TV show singing songs every week, um,
Mhm.
and being on camera, like it was televised in Philadelphia. And so I just kind of like called Al Albert's TV showcase. So automatically, like I was never afraid. I was always outgoing. Like I feel like I was just born and destined to be a performer, destined to for greatness, like really. And stardom, I guess, so to speak. Like you kind of have to be, in my opinion, you kind of have to be made for it. Like it's one of those, it's not easy. It's just one of those, things that either you're made for it or you're not. And I truly believe that like literally when I was born, it was like, oh yeah, this is what's happening. And but as far as I was on Broadway when I was 6 years old, in The Sound of Music with Richard Chamberlain, and then I did the national tour. So like it was just like instilled in me. Like I just loved performing and loved what I was doing and love every aspect of the entertainment industry in general. And I'm very creative. So I really can do whatever I want and kind of flip flop, within the industry, to be honest. But as far as music, I was on Star Search. That was the first time I came to LA and they flew
Mhm.
out here and I was infatuated with Los Angeles. Like I was like, I'm moving here someday. I was like 10 years old telling my mom I was sitting in California Pizza Kitchen like after rehearsal for Star Search and
Mhm.
that's like staying in Hollywood and I literally was just obsessed. And I got a Hollywood pillow. Like I loved Los Angeles. I loved, the atmosphere, the culture, just the hills. I loved it. And then obviously I would be able to do everything that I wanted to here. I never really tried to move here. And then like after that, like a few years later, fast forward, I then got chosen for Radio Disney's up and coming artist program, the Incubator Artist Program. So that
Uh-huh.
led me back out to Los Angeles to work on music. And I was just out here a lot. I was kind of back and forth by coastal, doing stuff with Radio Disney and auditioning and things. And it's just kind of like I ended up here, you know what I mean? And I really didn't try. And that's when like things are meant to be. But um, yeah, really for the music, I feel like I can't remember, but there was this book that I don't even know the name of it. I really wish when I go back to Jersey sometime, I'm gonna try to like dig for it. But I always was into very much like a lot of the pop girls, pop stars, like back in the day, like when we, would listen to music on our iPods or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And And I loved MTV, which recently my music video Thirsty was on MTV spanking new. And I literally cried when this happened because I was like, this is a dream come true. And MTV is like coming back right now with all the videos and like
I've
perform.
noticed that. That was actually one of the questions I was going to ask you was about MTV. That's congratulations. That's huge. That's massive.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening? But and I had just come from the MTV Awards, Video Music Awards, so it was like surreal. Like when I found out that it was going to be on there, I was like, wow. And but that's one thing like that really like stuck with me. Like as a kid, I was obsessed with the music videos on MTV and just like I just loved that whole atmosphere. And I love the pop, pop culture, pop music. And I think there was this book, that like it was fiction, obviously, but it was about a pop star. And like the front of the cover, I just really remember like the front of the cover, like it was a story about a pop star, and the front of the cover was just sticks in my head. And I was just infatuated by it. I was like, whoa, this is like, I don't know why I have this like feeling in my heart. Like I like love this. And when I stepped in the studio the very first time ever, I was actually doing it for a play and recording some music. And I had never been in the studio before ever. And I'd always done like live productions for, Broadway or like whatever. And I just remember like absolutely loving the atmosphere of being in the recording studio and hearing myself back. And like I was really good at it. Like I'm a perfectionist. So when I would do my takes, I would be like, oh no, that's not right. Like, let me go back and do it. And they're like, huh? And I just love the magic of being in the recording studio. And to this day, I still do. Like, I love creating music. And music is truly my heart and soul, more than anything. I eat, sleep, and breathe music. It's how I communicate. It's almost a therapy for me when I do songwrite. It's just so therapeutic. And I love telling stories through music and just creating. And I also love being a part of the production process of music. It's just something that is instilled in me that I just can't take away. Like, and I listen to music 24/7. Like, so I'm obsessed and I just love music and creating. And so I think that's really where it came from. And it's just developed from there. And it's just something that I can't take away from me. It's a part of me.
It is so neat. Also, when you said Radio Disney, I like boing, like all the way. I mean, I remember like, I don't know. I remember like mixed sticks and things like that. Like that's what my like experience was with like the younger like Disney generation, like Radio Disney and everything. Do you remember? I don't know if you know what that is.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know.
I'll send it to you after. But there were these. I just remember having. It was like they walked so the iPod could run. So like there were these things called like Disney mix sticks, and you would get like these little, it almost looked like an SD card, and it was customized, and it would have like all of the radio hits that you would like listen to the mix stick. But like when you said Radio Disney, that's like where my mind went, like, oh my gosh, I love it. That's such an era, such a time.
It was an era, and it was like very much like in the heavy era. Like it was Miley Cyrus, Jonas,
absolutely.
Jonas Brothers, don't even get me started. But yeah, so it was definitely an era that's going to live on forever for sure.
That is so neat. Well, it's amazing that you had like you said, even with you coming out of the womb and like basically just kind of you really ended up in this life. And I think it's really neat. And the idea, like you mentioned too, is very interesting to me. The idea of you like coming to LA, but then you'd go back, but then you'd come back. If something was always pulling and bringing you back. And the fact that you paid attention to that is awesome.
Even the pandemic that happened as well. So
oh yeah. Well, and that's good. Now, what did you do during the pandemic? Did you stay put or did you go?
Oh no, I actually moved back to New Jersey, where I'm originally from, South Jersey. Okay. I was like, when I couldn't get toilet paper and it felt like the world was like falling apart, I was like,
you're like, I'm out.
Like, what is going on? This is so scary. And I was like not in a relationship at the time. So I was like, oh yeah, like let me get out before this goes crazy. And then it went crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, let me just visit my family for a second. And yeah, but while I was at home in Jersey, that's when a lot of stuff manifested for me, actually. Like my whole new EP project was born during that time period, or at least like the beginning of starting it, and kind of what direction I wanted to go musically. Like I had a lot of time to sit with myself, as we all did, right?
Great.
So it really came to life. And I, like I said, even like I need to look for that book, but a lot of, the old CDs and like whatever I listened to as a kid, all those things came back to me and really was like, who is Ashlee? What is she trying to speak on? Like, what direction am I going in artistically? My little inner child somewhat came back and I used that in my whole new project with my music. And I actually started like writing and starting, talking to producers and everyone. But it manifested literally during the pandemic. So it was actually a great time for me. Oh, it was also hard. It was hard for all of us though. Cause like,
yeah,
physically, mentally, we were going through a lot, but I was using that in my craft, in my artistry.
absolutely. I'm always talking to people and I always love to hear how people kind of got through and survived because ironically, I've not met anybody that had necessarily the same exact experience. I know people that have stayed or they relocated or whatever they needed to do, but it's really, I think there is something very interesting about the idea of how it was such like a hard time, but obviously it was so, but yet people managed to make it beautiful for them personally or find different sides of them or find maybe they didn't find that they were in a job that served them very well. So they left the job or whatever the case may be. But I do like that it was able to be like that.
Yeah, music definitely saved me during
Yeah.
that. Like I would even get on my guitar, like, cause I love nails, okay? But like
That's
as
gotta be hard.
we're like all ratchet at that time, our hair, like if you're blonde, oh my God, like it was a mess. It was a mess.
Oh man. Yeah.
So I actually cut my nails off. I remember this. I couldn't even go to the nail salon. I cut my nails off. And yeah, it was interesting. But then I was like able to play guitar and I had my old guitar at the house and like it kind of came back to me. I started playing again a little bit. And then I remember writing this one particular song on my guitar. And like it was just very therapeutic. Like I would just sit in my room where I grew up and like think about my music, my artistry, write, sing. Yeah, but music does save people. And so that's kind of like, I feel like during the pandemic, that really helped me a lot.
That's so cool. I would love to talk all about you. You have a latest single that this just released a few days ago. We have to talk all about Nice and Naughty. Talk to me about this. Also, the cover art is amazing. You look so good. The whole shoot, whatever you guys did, like keep doing it. The quality of everything, it just, oh my God, your quality's already amazing. Don't get me wrong. MTV realized that too. But little things. But it's just this is just so cool. I love like looking and seeing all of the artists that I follow and like seeing if they're going to release anything during the holidays and like what it looks like for them. But you knocked it out of the park. Talk to me all about Nice and Naughty. That's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I was actually a little scared to release it, to be honest. Yeah.
What? I think it's fun. I like it.
Okay. Yeah, no, and actually, that's the response I've been getting from everyone. Someone literally said to me yesterday, they're like, "You just spoke on what everyone else wants to say," and I was like, "Good," because like, who doesn't want a nice and naughty man? Like, hello, be nice, but you gotta be a little naughty.
Right.
And so this all manifested as a joke in the studio. I walked in. I was literally on one. Like, I was going through not relationship stuff, but like situationship, whatever. And I'm like driving in the car and like, I was like listening to like random, not Christmas music at all. What I wanted, like this is the very first session. And I knew what I wanted production wise. So that was going great. But then we were just like joking around in the studio with my producers and like whatever and having random conversation. And then like let's talk about something like naughty and this and that, da da da. And then we like came up with this idea of like the naughty or nice list, right? And then we were like, wait, but like, what if we made it like, a relationship manifestation type song where you're talking to Santa and it's like, I want nice and naughty, like I want a nice and naughty man. And then that was like the idea, the core of it. But I also love to like do melody first, and like go in the booth and like I shared some of that on my Instagram and my TikTok of like I'm so random when I do melodies in the vocal booth, but like normally melody comes to me first. And then we just kind of like built upon that. But that's really it was like me manifesting, you know, for Christmas, like, and the holiday season, Santa, can you bring me a nice and naughty man who's list and the naughty list?
We want a well-rounded guy. That's really what it is. No,
Yeah.
it's a good idea. I think it's so smart the way that you did that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was like a collaborative team joke effort, and it just kind of like
Yeah.
spiraled something amazing, you know, like, yeah, I'm very shocked at how it's been perceived and very grateful. And it really did amazing in the first week. Like it had over 100,000 streams, or in the first few days actually, which is insane. And I was just like, and I have people, you know, like knowing the words and the lyrics aren't even out. Like it's crazy. And I'm so insanely grateful. So I hope it's a new Christmas bop for everyone. That's our holiday season bop, whatever.
That'd be amazing. Now, okay, so my question to you is obviously with having this type of success with this, does this light a fire under you for next year? Maybe like a Christmas EP or something like that, maybe following even in the footsteps of the theme of what this was, or are your wheels turning in any direction for that? Would you be
I think it'd be like so fun. I'm gonna be honest, have not gotten that far.
right?
I have like so many other things boiling right now that I'm really excited about. So my head is kind of there right now, not, but also at the same time I'm going, oh, this did really well, like, you know, like, so we'll see where next year leads, but I have other things boiling in the pot right now, so I'm excited.
Yes. Well, and that brings me to my next point. Anything that you have that you can tease that obviously you've had a really great year. You've just been a really great year in terms of your career, not only with your music, but also even I've noticed that you've been on so many different carpets. I saw you on Olivia Rodrigo's carpet. Like you're really out and about and mingling too, which I think is so important. And I love that you've been able to be in such great rooms and around such wonderful and talented people as well. What do you have coming up that you can
Love her. I was like, you're my new bestie.
really?
No, she was like speaking my language. Like I was like, she's like slay. And like, I don't know, we took a picture and I was just like, she's just so sweet. And I saw how she acted toward her fans, and like
Yeah.
how she took time to take pictures, and just her aura is just very graceful. And I just really respect that in an artist. So I was like, love you. I'll see you soon. Bye. It's some
I'll meet you. We'll go get coffee at Alfred down the road. That's so cool. I'm
Yeah.
so happy for you. I love that you were able to be there and obviously to have that experience too, and to report back and say that she is such a wonderful person, which I've always figured, but I think that's awesome that you had that opportunity like that. What is it that you could tease in terms of again, you've had a lot of releases. Is there any word of maybe like another body of work coming out, more singles? Whatever you can tease, I would love to be able to open the floor for you.
There's definitely singles for sure. And
Okay.
it's like so Thirsty was one of the singles. So Saucy and Thirsty were two of the singles off of a debut EP project.
Mhm.
So yes, there will be, you gotta stay tuned because there's a lot coming here for sure. So I'm very excited. Yeah.
I'm
Can't-
so excited.
but we're getting there.
That is so exciting. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for speaking with us. Thank you for sharing your story. Also, congratulations. I would love to give you the floor to be able to plug any social media spaces that you want for people to stay up to date with. Obviously, everybody needs to check out your single as well, Nice and Naughty. It's very fun. I'm going to go home and blast it to my family and see what happens. That's my plan. Just put it on in the background. See if they don't.
Definitely fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my Instagram is at Ashlee Keating, ASHLEEKEATING. I'm on there a lot. I'm also, if you want to see like personal life stuff, like it's more like Snapchat in the moment, which is also Ashlee Keating, which is random because I'm just keeping that to be like, you know, random in the moment. So Instagram at Ashlee Keating, Snapchat is for like in the moment stuff. TikTok is really where like I share a lot of like, you know, fun videos that you can kind of see my life. And that's at Ashlee Keating Music. YouTube, Ashlee Keating, Facebook, Ashlee Keating Music. So it's either at Ashlee Keating or Ashlee Keating Music. So yeah.
Well, congratulations again with everything. And I'm very excited to see what next year has to hold. Everybody that I've spoken to is like, yeah, everybody's gotten set up for like next year. Next year's going to be big for so many people. And I'm so excited for you and to see what you have coming. So thank you again for speaking with me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.